Next item on the list, Gears 5 had the biggest Xbox first-party launch since Halo 4. This is from Jordan Serrani over at IGN. It says, with over 3 million players since it was released, Gears 5 had the biggest first-party launch for Xbox since Halo 4 in terms of player count. Gears 5 easily doubled the first week's debut of Gears of War 4, according to Xbox Wire, making it the, quote, biggest launch week of any Xbox game studio title this generation, end quote. The 3 million player count was tracked from the early access launch on September 6th through this past weekend. The shooter also set first-party records on PC, becoming the biggest Xbox Game Pass launch on the platform and Microsoft's best ever first-party launch on Steam, which... How many games launched on Steam for Microsoft? I thought Gears was among some of the first. Anyway, it also tripled the performance of Gears of War 4 on PC. Those specific numbers weren't revealed. Gears 5 was released as part of the Game Pass on both Xbox One and PC, which certainly factored into its record-setting launch. The increased player count over its predecessor supports Microsoft's past comment about Game Pass greatly increasing their player base. So yeah, this is interesting, and it really is interesting in terms of how we talk about the success of games at launch now when we start to factor in these streaming services, because we are in this space where there's a lot of unique ways where you can start to fudge the numbers for engagement. I'm not saying that's exactly what's happening here with Gears 5. I do think that there are a shitload of people that are playing this game. But does biggest launch ever in terms of player base result in biggest launch ever in terms of dollars and cents driven for your business? And how does Microsoft go about determining the financial success of a game's launch when it's being tied so directly to a streaming service like Xbox, to a subscription service like Xbox Game Pass? Are you counting financially for yourself the number of new subscriptions in the month where Gears 5 was launched? Are you counting the number of subscriptions retained in which the person downloaded Gears 5? Are you talking about the number of subscriptions that were retained in which the person downloaded and actually launched and played Gears 5? Like, how are you talking financially about the success of the launch of Gears 5? And I think that probably matters less on a first-party basis, where there's, you know, a lot better financial deals that are probably worked out, rather than, you know, the engagement-based payouts that I imagine a lot of third-party people have gotten as a result of going onto Game Pass. But this is obviously a huge success for Gears. It's obviously a huge success for Microsoft, and I don't want to take away any of that from them. Gears 5, from what I've heard, I have not had the chance to play it yet, is an incredible game, and it deserves as many people playing it as possible. And 3 million players since it's released is definitely nothing to scoff at, because that's a massive launch for them. In a franchise that I think a lot of people would say, yes, this is a pillar of Xbox, but it does not carry the same weight as it did in the 360 days. So having a launch that matches Halo 4 is a huge deal for them. But it creates an interesting conversation when we're talking about engagement, when we're talking about the success of these launches financially. And I imagine the financial impact of Gears 5 has been massive. The number of people who are signing up for Xbox Game Pass, the number of people who are... So, you know, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate has this cool way, and I don't know exactly how to do it, where... you can effectively get, like, I think 3 years of the service for super, super cheap. And it's good because you get this immediate satisfaction of being like, oh shit, I can play Gears 5. There's this brand new game that dropped for my Xbox, and I can play it, you know, free of charge because I've already paid for this service. Like, you get that immediate satisfaction, but then you have this subscription service that you're already subscribed to that ties you over into the next generation of console. So that you're like, well, when you're assessing which console to purchase, you're like, oh, well, I mean, I've already got Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, so I've got, you know, Live, I've got the Game Pass subscription, I've got all these awesome games. So why don't I just go ahead and purchase the new Xbox at launch too? Because I'm going to have all those games available to play for me on there. So brilliant move by Xbox. I think this is just an awesome move for both the players and for them as a company. And I'm excited to play Gears. I want to get that downloaded sometime this week and maybe play it on stream. So 3 million players. Awesome numbers.